Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name's Lizzie and I'm back! It's been such a long time since I posted a video. The last video that I posted was back in January and it was my roundup of everything that I sewed in 2018. So it's been a really long time. It's been a really long time for a very valid and very important reason, because on the 6th of April this year, 2019, I got married! I got married to my now husband Alex and we had the most magical day. It was absolutely perfect, and the reason that completely put me out of action in terms of sewing and YouTube since January was because it was a totally, like, almost completely DIY wedding. We did all the decorations ourselves, we had a DIY photo booth, I made my own dress, we did so much, and we got engaged over 2 years ago, but for various reasons it all played out so that we had to do the majority of the work between January and the 6th of April, which is our wedding day. So we basically had 3 months, so January, February and March. So I just have not had any time to make any videos, but it was all worth it because we got everything done that we wanted to do and we had the most magical wedding day. I'm chomping at the bit to get our professional photos back from our photographer, because as soon as we do, I'll be, I'm sure, sharing lots of them on Instagram, so beware, there will be a lot more wedding spam coming up. There are already a couple of pictures up and I've saved some stories from the other people posted from our wedding day, so if you do want to be nosy and go and have a look at some sneak peeks of our wedding, I'll put my Instagram handle in the description box below and you can go and have a look. I will be making videos about the process of making my wedding dress. It was a huge challenge. I did it. I wore my dress, the dress that I made myself, on my wedding day, and I was really pleased with it. I had the best time twirling around in my dress, and what I'm going to do is make probably 4 or maybe 5 videos kind of breaking it all down into stages of just how I tackled the huge challenge of making my own wedding dress. A bit of a disclaimer, I intended on making those videos as I went along, so sort of stopping to make a video every couple of weeks or every 3 or 4 weeks to kind of give a progress update, explain what all my thoughts were and my progress was at that point. But there just wasn't time. There just wasn't time at all. So when I was in the process of making my dress, I took loads of photos, made loads of notes in my bullet journal, so I'm going to kind of do it retrospectively and split it down into chunks and tell you about the various sort of phases of making my wedding dress. So do subscribe to my channel if you'd like to, yeah, make sure you don't miss those videos when they come up within the next few weeks, few months. I'm not going to put a timeline on it because I've kind of realised over the last few months that making these videos is just so much more fun when I don't give myself any deadlines and don't put any pressure on myself. So you might get the first one in a couple of weeks, or you might get the first one in a month. We'll see. So after getting married on the 6th of April, that was the Saturday, we then flew on the Monday to India for our honeymoon. We were there for 2 weeks. We did the Golden Triangle, which is, we did Jaipur first, then Agra, which is where the Taj Mahal is, and then Delhi. And then we flew down to Goa in the south and laid on the beach and relaxed by the pool, and it was just the most perfect combination of sightseeing and, you know, a bit of intense sort of culture shock and all that kind of thing in the first week, and then relaxation and beautiful beaches and luxury in the second week. So it's a really good balance. But yeah, and then honeymoon, we got back from honeymoon on the 22nd, 23rd, I don't know, 20 something, early 20 somethings of April. So I've had 4 days back at work, and then it's now, and it's basically May. So that's where the first 4 months of this year has gone, and that's why there haven't been any videos from me. But I'm back, and today I just wanted to kind of tell you all of that. So it was a bit of a catch up as to what on earth's been going on in my life the last few months. But also I have managed to do a little bit of sewing, only a little bit, because obviously the main chunk of what I've been doing is making my wedding dress, but I have got 4 garments to show you that I haven't mentioned in a video yet. I think they've all featured on my Instagram by this point, but I haven't told you about them in a video. So without further ado, I will get started. So the first thing that I haven't shown you yet is a skirt. I've got them here with me, so I'll hold them up, but I'll insert some pictures as well because it would just be easier for you to see that way. This is a black cord mini skirt. As you can see, it's, God, it looks so mini there. This is a hack of the Tilly and the Buttons Delphine skirt pattern. So the main difference is that I've made, oh, you're not going to be able to see very well on this black fabric, I don't think, sorry guys, but oh, and it's going to look so horrible and like grey and fluffy when it does that, sorry everyone. But basically I've made the waistband much narrower and I've made the hips narrower, so I've slimmed it down to be much more of like a tight A-line rather than a really sticky out A-line, and I chopped a hell of a lot off the bottom to make it a mini skirt. I made this before Christmas, and over New Year we went to Rome for like a long weekend over the New Year, which was so much fun. But this was perfect because I'm all about comfort these days, and I love to wear black leggings, and I love to wear my Nina Lee South Bank sweaters. I've got two cropped Nina Lee South Bank sweaters. One, I'll put some pictures in. But I didn't have a black skirt to wear with them. I wanted a high-waisted black mini skirt that I could wear with black leggings and boots, and then my cropped Nina Lee South Bank sweaters. I didn't have a black one, so I made this and it's perfect. It's not, the fit isn't perfect. I think what I really need to do is find a mini skirt pattern that has darts in the back, because the Tilly and the Buttons Delphine skirt doesn't have any darts in it. So if anyone can recommend a pattern for a little A-line mini skirt that has darts in the back, that would be amazing, because I live in these kind of skirts in the winter, in the autumn and the spring really. Not so much in the summer when a mini skirt gets a little bit risque with bare legs, but yeah, I definitely want to make more because it's great. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the fabric. So the fabric I bought from John Lewis. I only needed 1 metre because it's such an eeny weeny little skirt, and it was only £3.80 a metre, so it was a total bargain. I never normally buy fabric in John Lewis because it's often quite expensive, but this was a bargain. The second thing that I've made since my last video is a jumpsuit that I made for my hen party. Now I will hold it up, but actually it looks really horrible right now because it's really crumpled and it just doesn't do it justice, and when you hang it on a hanger, the lining, the body of the garment pulls so that my little ruffles pull down, which it doesn't do when I wear it, it's just when it's on the hanger. So maybe I'll just put some photos in of this one, but what it is, what is it? My mind's gone blank. This is my all-time favourite pattern that I've made to date. It is the Vogue V9075 jumpsuit. This is now my 3rd version. I'm sure you've seen it on Instagram because lots of all of our favourite makers have made them, or made one, and this time I changed it up ever so slightly by adding a ruffle detail on the collar. Now this isn't going to be very easy to show you because it really needs ironing, so please forgive me that it just doesn't look very nice, but I've basically added little pleated, it's literally like a strip of fabric pleated, and I sandwiched it in between the body of the fabric and the lining, just to add a ruffle detail around the neck. And I wore this for my hen party. I wanted something quite plain for my hen party because we made flower crowns out of paper and pom-poms, all handmade by me and Alex, my husband, and my best friend who's my bridesmaid and maid of honour. So we made paper crowns, like flower crowns, and I'm sure if you follow me on Instagram you'll have seen them because I posted quite a bit from my hen party. But yeah, because I was going to have all this amazingness going on my head, I decided I wanted something more plain on the bottom, and I just love this pattern because it's swooshy, it's got lovely wide legs, it's forgiving on the tummy if you eat too much or drink too much, it has pockets, and yeah, I just feel really like glamorous but also comfortable when I wear a jumpsuit like this, and I was really pleased with the extra detail that I added, which makes it a little bit different to the versions of this that I already have. The fabric that I made this in is a khaki coloured viscose crepe that I bought from a website called The Fabric Room. It's so cheap, it's a minimum of 3 metres, but it's like £2 or £3 a metre, so it's dirt cheap. However, I won't be using this fabric again because it just needs ironing. you can't really wear this without ironing it because it just doesn't look very nice, and I hate ironing. So next time I'm not going to be such a cheapskate and I'm going to splash out on some really expensive, beautiful quality viscose, even if it's like lots and lots per metre, because I just think it'll be worth it, because it has prevented me from wearing it since as much because I just can't be bothered to iron it. So yeah, next time I'm gonna get the real stuff, the really good quality stuff. So my hen party was in the very beginning of March, so it was exactly 5 weeks before the wedding, and once I'd got my hen party jumpsuit sewn up, I then moved on to think about honeymoon sewing. Now, I had a whole grand plan in place of things that I wanted to make for honeymoon, but of course I didn't have time. I was making decorations for the wedding, I was making my wedding dress, I was doing all the logistics and planning and everything else that you have to do when you're planning a wedding on your own. Well, not on my own, Alex and I were doing it together, but I mean, we didn't have a big fancy venue that came with a wedding planner, etc. We literally did everything ourselves. So the honeymoon sewing that I managed to do was very limited, but I did manage to make this. You have to excuse me, as with everything else, it's very crumpled and needs a bit of an iron, but this is a simple sew cocoon dress that I made in Atelier Brunette viscose that I got from Sew Sunshine last year. The fabric is beautiful, it's just buttery and soft, although it does crinkle a little more than I expected. I think maybe some of the other viscoses I've used before have actually had a small amount of polyester in them, which I guess prevents them from wrinkling as much. This one does wrinkle a little bit, and I would like to rub it over with an iron before I wear it. But this I wanted to make for India because it's loose, it's floaty, viscose is obviously beautifully breathable, and it covers my shoulders, which is great. It's got a little v-neck, but it's not too low, and I made a little matching, just a little, literally a little string belt to nip it in at the waist. I did have a little bit of trouble when I was making this one because the fabric is really beautifully fine and soft, and then my sewing machine didn't really like it. I even had a walking foot by this point because I invested in a walking foot whilst I was making my wedding dress. So I used a walking foot to sew this, but I've still got a bit of rumpling on some of the seams, and when you give it a really good press it doesn't look bad, but it's just not ideal because I know it's just not as beautifully sewn as it should be, which is a shame because it's such beautiful and quite expensive fabric, so I really shouldn't have rushed it. I should have just stopped and worked out why my seams were rumpling. For example, around the armholes it's really, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but it's just a bit, I don't know if you can tell, but it's just a bit rumply, and not that rumply is a word, but yeah, if any of you have any advice for me, is a walking foot sufficient to solve that problem? Is that what I needed, or is it just the tension on my sewing machine needed adjusting? I don't really understand tension on my sewing machine. I really need to sort up and read the instructions and watch a few tutorials or something. So if any of you can point me in the right direction of how to adjust my tension when I'm using really fine, thin, like viscose fabrics, that would be so helpful. But overall, I'm really pleased with it, and it was really nice and cool to wear in India, which is great. Lastly, I have the most exciting thing to show you because I am so pleased with these. I did a hack of the New Look 6446 pattern, which is an oldie and a favourite. It's one of the early patterns that I tried, and it was at that point one of the most successful things I made. I made a beautiful green version out of some cotton from the village haberdashery, and I just love the fit of it. On the waist and the hips it fit me straight out of the packet, which, as we all know, is rare for all of us. And I've always wanted to make a pair of trousers, like hack the jumpsuit to be a pair of trousers, and that's exactly what I did. I made these for India. Aren't they fabulous? These beautiful yellow, like a golden yellow pair of like culotte, you know, wide leg style trousers with these lovely pink and orange and sort of dark green florals on. This fabric I bought from Sew Sunshine last year. At the time it was called the Jessamine Elm Viscose Linen. So it's got a lovely texture to it. It's got that drape and of viscose, but it's got the kind of texture of linen, and it's really breathable. At the time I bought 2.5 meters at £7.45 per half meter, and it's 145 centimeters wide. I love this fabric and I love this pattern. In order to make it into trousers, it was totally simple. I just needed a shorter zip. I drafted a waistband. I drafted quite a thin waistband, as you can see on there. I should have interfaced it with something a little bit thicker because it is a little bit droopy, but that doesn't really matter. Once it's on, it fits perfectly fine. And the pattern has pockets, which we all know is a massive bonus, but they are just loose and floaty. They're not completely opaque, so I do have to make sure I wear nude underwear with them, because otherwise they'd be, well, they are a tiny bit see-through, but as long as I wear nude underwear, it's fine. But yeah, I just think they're amazing. Like, how fun are these? This is what sewing is about. It's about making things that just make you smile. I had quite a bit of fabric left over from making these because I bought 2.5 meters and I had plenty to spare. So I did start to make a, what's it called? This pattern. I started to make the Grainline Studio Scout tee, and I wanted to make it in the matching fabric so I could have like a faux jumpsuit situation. I cut it out, but I just didn't have time to sew it up in the end. So that will get sewn up, and so the next time the sun comes out here, I'll be wearing, hopefully, a faux jumpsuit in this amazing yellow viscose linen. The one thing I would do differently next time with these is I would add some belt loops, because I just really like the look of having a little thin like waist belt nipping me in, and so yeah, next time I'll put belt loops on. But yeah, I'm delighted with these. So that's that. I've been talking for a really long time, so I'm sorry if this is a really long video, but I've obviously missed making videos because I'm just babbling away 9 to the dozen. But yeah, that's kind of everything I wanted to update you on for now. As I mentioned before, I am going to be making lots of like retrospective wedding content, so I'm going to be telling you all about my wedding dress and how that whole process went. But yeah, it's good to be back. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of my videos. And I'll see you hopefully very soon this time. Bye!